Hello, good evening. So, ito ay naka-online, pero tulad ng aking binanggit sa GC, kailangan nyo sundin ang mga instructions. So, kung hindi kayo on time manonood, so meron kayong maaring madidak, mabawasan sa inyo may score. So, please listen and there will be a quiz within this lecture. Okay, like what I said, we will focus on the next topic regarding the context of social science in relation to our society. And one of the social sciences that we'll look on is the contemporary aspect of mass media. And I will integrate later on social media. So, bago nyo mapakinggan, so tingnan natin kung lahat kayo nakikinig. Can you please send me a screenshot of your picture na kayo ay nanonood ng aking video. Okay, and I will wait for a while. Can you please send your picture sa ating GC? Okay? So within 1 minute, I will wait for the picture or the SS or screenshot of yours while watching this video. Okay? So I hope lahat ay nakapag-send na because I will review all of your screenshots ngayon mismo, okay, while waiting for your SS. Okay? So, ready na? Okay. After sending your screenshot, can you please send or react a heart react sa ating GC kung lahat kayo ay nakapasok na at naka-in na o nanonood na ng video ito. So, kailangan nyo mag-send ng heart o mag-react ng heart emoji sa ating GC. Okay? So, proceed. So, our topic for tonight is all about the mass media slash social media and the society. Take note that I already discussed the difference between mass media and social media. When you say mass media, itinatawag nating TV, radio, newspapers, etc. While when you say social media, we use this in terms of social interaction through the medium of internet. Okay? For example, Facebook, X, or Twitter before, IGN, many more. So when we look on this aspect, at the end of this lesson, you as my students are expected to explain the pervasive influence of mass media on society, especially young people like you, like us, and analyze the dynamic relationship between mass media and other social institutions, how powerful social media is, and most especially the mass media. Discuss the transformation of mass media in the age of globalization and the internet. Assess the ways in which the new media or social media shape our identity, intimacy. When we say intimacy, there is an extreme feeling of belongingness or love and self-concept. And last one, we will explain how the new media or social media create digital device while promoting cyber democracy in relation to our last topic, politics and democracy. So, according to the first slide, violence, consumerism, and mass media. According to Mark Gurr, 1986, he noted several of the most commonly mentioned intended media effects. Number one, the effects of advertising on purchasing. Take note, you learned that in some of your GE or I think sa inyong mga business subjects that mass media have a great impact in terms of purchasing, advertising on purchasing. Can you please give me an example? I will call a name and can you please chat your answers sa ating GC kung anong sagot niyo because I will analyze that later on. Okay, there's no wrong or there's no wrong answer. Okay, I will accept your answer. I will call a name. Miss Joy Espolong. Can you please give me one example that social media or mass media before have a great effect in terms of advertising on purchasing? Okay, I will wait for your answer. Okay, can you please pause this video while waiting for the answer of Miss Espolong? Okay. So, pwede nyo nang i-unpause ang video ito. So, tingnan natin. I hope tama ang sagot mo, but congratulations for your perseverance to answer my questions via offline. Okay? So, yes, if your answer is yes, so mass media have an effect in terms of advertising on purchasing because even before, way back 1950s, 60s, 70s, even late 90s, malaki ang epekto ng mass media. Bakit? Doon kasi nakakita kung ito bang mga produktong to ay kikita o hindi through bandwagon. Di ba? Bandwagon in terms of marketing or advertising. Kapag maraming gumagamit mo, especially kapag idol mo gumagamit o artista, gagamitin mo halimbawa sabon. Dahil ginagamit ko ng artistang paborito mo na napakaputi, so feeling mo, puputi ka rin. That is an effect. Di ba? Even in terms of political campaigns on voting. Kaya nga ang dami natin natin mga propaganda or political advertisement. Di ba? Lahat na lang pwede nagsabihin in a good way. The effects of public service, announcement on personal behavior and social improvement. That's also correct. The effects of propaganda on ideology and the effects of media ritual on social control. So before, malaki talaga. Malaki na ang epekto ng mass media even up to now. Diba? Makikita ninyo paano naaapektuhan ang ating pamumuhay ng mass media, most especially the new media or the new mass media pertains to social media. Sa tingin mo kaya ni Jamaica Pulmones, I hope nandito ka. Okay? So, can you please send your answer sa GC natin? Gaano na sa tingin mo ang level ng effectivity ng social media sa pamumuhay ng ating sa pamumuhay ng bawat isa? I think meron kang sagot diyan, di ba? Malaki ng epekto niyan. Okay, can you please pause this video while waiting for the answer of Miss Pulmones Jamaica? Okay, so I hope na-send mo na ang iyong sagot. Okay, I will analyze that later on. How about you, Glenn Sepagan? Same question. What do you think are the impacts of social media in our daily lives? Ano kayang epekto ng paggamit ng social media sa ating pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay? Can you please send your answer sa ating GC? Okay, and can you please post this video while waiting for the answer of Glenn Sipagan? Okay. So, right. Can you please move on? Kung ang inyong sagot ay, yes, nakakapekto to in terms of uh, our action, the way we think, the way we analyze, na malaki epektong to. Di ba? Even up to now, in the contemporary era, malaki ang epekto ng paggamit ng social media. And most of the time, ginagamit natin ang social media hindi para ma-develop ang sarili natin o ma-develop ang kapwa natin. But sometimes we use social media to destroy the personality of other people. Diba? That's how powerful social media is, even mass media. Diba? So, kung tingnan natin, sabi nga, mass media and gender stereotypes. Diba? Tingnan natin dito, when you say stereotypes, these are images that can be adapted about specific types of individuals, groups, or certain ways of doing things. When you say stereotypes, para bang, sabi nga sa ating symbolic interactionism, nakasanayan mo na. Dahil nakasanayan mo na, ito na ang kahulugan nito. Halimbawa, stereotyping. Isang halimbawa stereotyping in terms of gender. Our stereotyping in terms of gender sa mga babae. Stereotype na kapag babae, stereotyping na o stereotype na ito kapag Ang babae, bahay lamang. Ang babae ay full housewife lamang. That is our stereotyping. Ibig sabihin, naitatak mo na sa isipan mo na ito ang kanyang tungkulin, ito ang kanyang role, ito ang kanyang itsura. Para halimbawa, pag black ka, tayo ay gusto natin sa maputi, ayaw mo sa black people. Diba? Kasi ibang tingin mo. Halimbawa, stereotype ng mga Muslim. Pag nasa isip natin mga Muslim, ang stereotyping doon, terorista agad. We generalize. That's why in terms of stereotyping, we generalize our perspective in a certain individual or certain group of people. And can you please give me another example of stereotypes? Miss Mari Desa Fernandez. Okay, I hope ay nakikinig ka at kasama mo ang iyong mahal sa buhay. Joke lang, okay? So, isa pang halimbawa ng stereotyping na alam mo. Okay, can you please send an example of stereotyping that you know? Okay? And can you please post this video while waiting for the answer of Miss Desa? Okay, so kung nag-agree kayo sa sagot ni Miss Desa, can you please have a heart react? Put a heart react sa kanyang message sa ating GC. Okay? Kung nag-agree kayo, kung hindi man kayo nag-agree, can you please put a sad reaction. Okay? Tingnan natin. Maaaring isa sa mga sinagot mo na isa pang stereotyping natin ay patungkol sa ating pamahalaan. Kasi nga, nakasanayan na natin na lahat naman na nauupo, kumakapit sa sistema. Una, mabait lang sila, pero darating pa no, hindi na rin. Kumakapit na lang sila sa sistema. Maaaring ganun. When you say stereotyping, it is the image that we created. It is the image that we adapted in certain specific types of group of people or even individual because they doing those things in pattern. When you say in pattern, malimit na lamang. Para bang sabi natin pag pulis, wag di man lahat. Diba? Pag lalo ngayon, ang pattern ngayon, ang mga pulis nakakatakot na. Basta na lamang nanguhuli na walang dahilan. So, nagiging stereotype ng mga pulis ngayon hindi tapat. Pero that is not absolute. Nagiging stereotype lamang yan kasi nagkakaroon ng social pattern. Another term is prejudice. Diba? These are prejudgments. Ibig sabihin, naging judgmental ka agad. Or opinions that people have before knowing the full circumstances about a person or an event. Hindi pa kilala isang tao. Dahil meron ka ng prejudgment, you prejudge the people based on his looks, based on her appearance. Diba? Yun ang prejudgment. O kaya minsan, nagkakaroon ng prejudgment dahil sa unang ginawa niya. Sabi namin, pag kami mga teachers, kung ano ang una naming pinakita sa klase, yun ang tatatak sa mga bata at the end. Kaya nga, doon pa lamang sa unang turo namin, galingan na namin. Para sa dulo, yung pa rin tatatak sa kanila na, ay, ang teacher na to magaling. Ganun din kayo. So, it is our nature that we prejudge other people. We compare other people. But this is not absolutely correct because our nature, we are judgmental. We always look for other contexts of perfection. But there's no such thing as perfection. In social sciences, prejudice is often used to refer to negative, take note, negative or unfavorable judgments towards people or a person because of his social class. Siya ba'y mayaman o mahirap? Minsan, we prejudge other people na nakatira sa squatter na sabi natin walang urbanidad. Pero not all naman. Nagkataon lang naman sila. Wala silang bahay. Pero maayos naman silang pilos. Di ba, pag sabi natin na nakatira ka sa squatter, nasa isip mo agad ay magulo. Nakatira ka sa tondo kasi halos na pinalalabas sa television. Pag batang tondo, batang kaya matatapang. Nakakaroon tayo ng prejudgment. In terms of gender, age, disability, religion, like what happened in Palestine and Israel. One of the reasons of war is the religion, Jews versus Muslim. Diba? Minsan kasi totoo lang, medyo bully din ng Israel eh. So napipiko ng Palestine. Diba? Ang taas ang tingin sa sarili nila. Sexuality. Diba? Pag sabi ng lalaki, ay lalamot-lambot at sabi mo agad, ay bayan o bakla yan. Eh, makakala ng mind din ng lalaki. Pag ang babae ay medyo tigasin, sabi mo agad, lesbian yan or bi. Pero wala mong masama doon. So, maaari lang, that is his or her perspective in terms of acting specific things or doing specific job or what we call that, kaya tawag natin role in the society, his role or her role in the society, and ethnicity, nationality, and other personal characteristics. Okay? So studies would also show that constant exposure to sexually explicit materials tends to affect family values. Paano to? Merong isang nilabas ang Reader's Digest. I read this Reader's Digest way back 2010. Sabi sa isang article sa Reader's Digest, psychologically, kapag daw ang isang individual nakapanood daw ng mga violence o kaya masiselang mga palabas, tumatatak daw to sa bata for almost 8 years. Diba? 8 taon na to hindi niya maaring makalimutan yung ibang mahalagang detalye. Diba? So, syempre, that every year or every month or every day, naaalala mo na pa mo. So, nadadagdagan yung 8 years mo hanggang hindi mo na makalimutan. What is that sexually explicit materials? For example, in the contemporary era that we belong with, sa mga television, di ba? Yung pagpapalabas ng mga selang scenes, halimbawa, mga kissing scenes, beses ng araw, hindi man pwedeng, di ba sasabihin ng magulang mo, oh, kaya halikan sa TV, ang gagawin mo, you need to close your eyes para hindi makita. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na parental guidance. Di ba? Ganun yun eh. Pero nowadays, nagbabago. Bakit? Hindi lang naman mass media, even in other social media platforms. Ang mga bata, di ba? Yung mga elementary pupils natin, mas maagang namumulat regarding to those sexually explicit materials. For example, pornography. 'Di ba? Violence, 'di ba? Panonood ng crime, 'di ba? Without any consent or guidance from their parents. Talagang yung value system ng family ay maapektuhan. 'Di ba? Kaya nga dapat makaroon tayo ng batas. Anong particular na batas na dapat maging maingat sa pinalalabas sa TV. 'Di ba? Ngayon kasi kahit nga sa ano sa mga teleserye, yung simple nung araw, pag seri ng teleserye, kapag maghahalikan, cut na yun. Ibig sabihin, nasa mindset na natin na may ginagawa sila doon, pero hindi na kailangan pakita. But nowadays, step by step, diba? Paano hinahalikan ng lalaki ng babae? Paano nakapagtalik? That's why that is very explicit, diba? Sexually explicit. So it really affects our social values, our family values, diba? So that's why it's very important or it's very essential that our parents, guardian, you, kung kayo may anak na, that you guide your child, your children. Ano ang mga dapat panoorin, ano ang hindi dapat panoorin. Because through social media, through different social media platforms, di ba? Nakakapanood na sila ng sobrang malalaswa na hanggang sa tumatak sa isipan nila, they normalize watching pornography. They normalize watching those scenes na medyo brutal o hindi dapat mapanood ng isang simple o ordinaryong kabataan. That's why, compared to the control group, according to this research, the exposure group reported more tolerance for pre- and extramarital sexual activity. Dahil ano sila sila ay exposed doon sa mga ganong sexual experience. So, with normal, okay lang manood ng ganito kasi normal lang ganito. That is not normal in our social system. We tend to normalize that because pinipilit natin. But for those who are less endorsement or less exposed of marriage as an institution, were reported to want fewer children and more likely to believe that there were health risks in sexual repression. So, mass media and knowledge production. So what is that knowledge production pertains to what? So media as a tool of propaganda. So I will call somebody here. When we say propaganda, what comes first in your mind? When we say propaganda, any idea, Mr. Joseph Vincent Tan? What do you mean by propaganda? Okay, let's post this video. And while waiting for the response of Joseph Vincent And ano kayong propaganda? Diba? Yes. Okay. Another question. Another student. Same question. Like what Dean said did a while ago. Maria Belcomia. Miss Maria Belcomia. So, aside from the definition given by Vincent, what do you mean? What is your operational definition of propaganda? Okay, natin. When I say propaganda, it can be a form of marketing scheme or advertising wherein you promote certain ideas or ideology or even products. It is promoting your philosophy, your ideology. It's either good or bad propaganda, still propaganda. It is promoting your belief system. It is promoting your output. Diba? So, authoritarian states, for example, Russia, China, and North Korea usually use the mass media for its project of nation building. When we say nation building, under Article 4, Article 14 of the Philippine 1987 Constitution, when we say nation building, it is the pillar of sustainability, wherein we achieve a sustainable political system, we achieve a sustainable economic system, we achieve a stable or sustainable societal system. Ibig sabihin, maayos. Kaya nga nation building, we do believe that the children or our youth are the nation builders. You are the nation builders of our country. But how will you become a nation builder kung mahina ang pag-unawa mo? So, bakit sinasabi? For example, in China, they control the mass media. Diba? Ang may-ari ng mass media ng government, more especially in North Korea, that is state, their mass media platform, majority, not majority, but all of the mass media platforms, even social media, are being controlled by the state so that they can able to promote nation building in what way? They control the system. Diba? Kung ano lamang ang dapat dito, yun lamang gawin nyo. Not like in the Philippines, that we have freedom to use our social media, to use our, based on our understanding or based on our wants, kagustuhan, pangailangan, ginagawa natin. But there's still a limit. But here, naniniwala ang mga authoritarian state na kailangan kontrolin ng gobyerno, ng estado, ang media. Bakit? Para hindi magkaroon ng idea ang mamamayan na maghimaksik o kumontra. Yun lang yan eh. So majority of these authoritarian states have an absolute control in their mass media platforms. For example, ano yung mga ilalabas na balita, ano yung dapat panoorin ng mga bata, ng mga mamamayan na pumapabor sa policy ng gobyerno. Hence, it constantly watches over oppositions and protests in alternative platforms of mass media. So under the 1987 Constitution Article 3, meron tayong kalayaang magsalita. So we are very lucky. Being a Filipino, we are very blessed. Why? We have these rights na hindi makikita sa mga authoritarian state like North Korea, China, Russia. Wala tayo pati anong panoorin mo. But we are hoping and praying na magkaroon ng limit. Limit in a way, ang papanoorin mo, ang pakikinggan mo ay mga balita o mga informasyon na tatanggapin mo makakatulong sa nation building. Di ba baka ka manood ka ng nood, hindi mo makakatulong sa nation building. Halimbawa, meron na palang nangyayaring digmaan sa ibang bansa, hindi mo pa alam. Diba? Meron ako nakuusap na, ano yung digmaan doon sa sa Middle East? Hindi niya alam. Kasi hindi siya nanonood ng balita kung ano pinanonood niya. Diba? Yung pala, may epekto na rin pala sa akin to. For example, pagtaas ng gasolina. May epekto yan. Bakit? Dahil digmaan eh. Parang nangyari noong na hindi pa naman tapos ngayon, Russia and Ukraine. Diba? Nasa Europe yun, pero apektado ang Asia, lalo na ngayon. Nasa Middle East lang. Palestine and Israel. It is a war between religion and territory. Di ba? Minsan kasi ang mga Israelis kasi medyo bully na rin eh. Di ba? Marami silang nabully ng mga Palestine. Kaya napikon na rin. So the media act as an agent of stability. When you say stability, sustainable. Diba? Stability in a way na hindi nako-compromise ang future generation. When you say compromise, hindi nangangamba na mawalan ng mawawalan ng resources, hindi nangangamba ang future generation na sila ay pagkukulang, sustainable. Diba? Stability in a way na hindi ka natatakot na magkasakit dahil stable ang ating healthcare system. Diba? So, paano naging stable yan? Sabi nga, sa panahon ng mga authoritarian states, stable yan in a way na control kasi. So, dahil control, kung ano lamang ang gusto mangyari ng Estado, yun lamang masusunod. Kasi parang sabi ni Thomas Hobbes, sabi niya, ay dapat ang masunod Estado. Bakit? Naniniwala ni Thomas Hobbes na ang Estado, ang tungkulin ng Estado ay protektahan ng tao. Tama naman. Eh what if hindi yun ang mindset ng mga leader ngayon? Not to protect, but to grab the resources, but to grab the money of the people. Diba? Hindi ganun eh. But if we will use media, mass media and social media as an agent of stability, we can able to build a better foundation. Why? We educate other people. Diba? Parang sa social media, ang pinagagawa mo ay ano, puro na lamang kalokohan. Diba? Okay lang naman yan. That is part of our life. Pero, ang mahirap, kung puro na lang nonsense. Di ba? Dapat meron din, ano, paano ka makakatulong sa nation building? You will become a future accountant. Di ba? Kaya nga kayo ng accounting, di ba? Kasi gusto nyo maging CPAs. Di ba? Certified Public Accountant. So, gamitin mo yung talino mo, paano mo matutulungan. Yung tao, halimbawa, di ba? Simple eh. May kilala akong mga accountant na gumagawa ng ano eh, simpleng vlog para sa mga accounting students para mapaganda o maunawaan ng isang simpleng accounting students ang konteksto ng accounting. So, ginamit niyo yung social media to teach the context of accounting. Diba? So, daming ganun. So, the function of social media and mass media are commonly associated with the term development journalism. Tamang pamamalita. Pagbabago, hindi yung ginagamit mo lamang information para manira. Sabi nga ni Joey De Leon, we can destroy or create an individual through leading or either mislead the people. Di ba ganun eh? And isa sa mga problema natin, napaka-gullible. When I say gullible, napaka-uto-uto ng mga Pilipino. Kung ano makikita mo sa social media, dahil magandang edit, magandang pagkakagawa, paniniwalaan mo. One time, meron nag-send sa akin na, totoo ba to? Paano ng totoo? Totoo bang walang pasok? Saan mo nakita? Sa TikTok. Nakato lamang tama, pero hindi man pwedeng laging ganun. Titingnan. So we need to validate. Kaya nga knowledge production eh. Anyone can create social media or can participate in a mass media rally even you are not thinking. You need to think so that before joining or participating in that certain activity that refers the activity of mass media, social media, you know that your action will be right or wrong. Diba? You need to think. Kaya nga, think before you click. Diba? Mass media and the society of spectacle. What is it? Diba? In the age of society as a spectacle, a term coined by Guy Debord, 1931 to 1994, siya namuhay, a French artist of social critic, spectacle or media images. They say spectacle, that is these are media images dominate politics in modern societies. The media are complicit in the generation of spectacle politics, redefining politics as battle for image, display, and story in the forms of entertainment and drama. When say spectacle, meron kang expectation na ito na yun eh. Alam mo na halimbawa, you use media, either mass media and social media to promote your identity. For example, I told you before, if ganito, if Coco Martin wanted to become or he wants to become a politician, I think he will win. Why? Because of his image being cannibalistic and The latest one, Tanggol. Di ba? Si Tanggol. Di ba? Na kung saan ang kanyang ang kanyang tungkulin ay pagtanggol ang bayan. So yun nagiging image. That's why huwag tayo naman masyadong paloko. Hindi ko I'm not against Martin, Coco Martin, but in other way around, di ba? Mapapansin mo ngayon, ang daming vlog ngayon ng mga politicians, sabay. Kasi nakita na ito yung trending ngayon. Pag-vlog na. And majority of the people are not analytical or not thinking critically. They are just go with the flow and choose who is the best based on his look, based on his personality, or how famous an individual is. Mahirap yun. Diba? That's why the use of media, mass media and social media are very complicit. Diba? It is very useful. Yes, that is correct. But if the people, like what Plato said before, are not thinking critically, we cannot able to strengthen the pillars or the foundation of our nation. We cannot able to strengthen that. We cannot able to build a better foundation wherein majority of the people, not all, but majority of Filipino citizens are thinking, we are thinking, we are not gullible. We need to think. Diba? Yan ang sabi doon. Diba? And sabi nga, mediatization of social life. When you say mediatization, it is a contemporary term. Diba? The terms in relation to media refers to the pervasive effects of mass media on how people see and interpret social events. Hindi lang to mass media eh. Also in social media, majority na ngayon is social media and not mass media eh. Take note mediatization. Mediatization refers to the pervasive effects of mass media slash social media on how we see and interpret social events. It is not an exaggeration to say that mass media or social media influences people more than their genes. But the reason being that mass media slash social media permeates or mediates all forms of social life, not just politics. For example, in our social media account, Facebook, ang dami natin nakikita, di ba? We can see in our home na we are not just talking about our personal life. We are also talking political events. We are also discussing the war between Russia, Ukraine, Israel, and Palestine. Even your love life, even the personal lives of other people, most especially the artista, diba? We always dwell or talking with one another through social media. So nakaka-apekto to because the mass media and social media through the influence of large advertising companies generate images called spectacle. Diba? By the French sociologist Guy Debord. These images or spectacles in turn from a life of their own that predefines and determines the way people look at the world and interact with other people. Nakaroon ulit naman saya, prejudgment, predefinition. Diba? Kasi nagkakaroon ng social pattern. Ito lagi nakikita mo. So, nagkakaroon ng social images that we need, not we need to accept, but society will accept. Because paulit-ulit na lamang, so nakakasanayan natin. Kaya nga, in our social life, so sana, halimbawa ng pandemic, di ba? Nauso yung paggawa ng galgo ng coffee. Because of naging trending to. So halos lahat, 'di ba? Halos lahat gumawa ng galgo ng coffee, even though na hindi ka man nagkakape. Kasi nga, kasi nagkaroon tayo tinatawag natin pre-definition, 'di ba? That it must be part of our social life. But that is not absolute. 'Di ba? By buying one product, for example, in terms of marketing or advertising, diba? By buying one product over and against another product, a consumer is voting for that spectacle or commodity. Hence, many sociologists in the contemporary era that already discussed believe that we live in a society of brands and logos according to claim. Take note, we live in a society of brands and logos. In short, we live in a material world. One French sociologist, according to Jean Baudrillard, even argued that quite extremely that today, with the proliferation of mass media slash social media, images, people cannot distinguish anymore between the real and the copy of the real or the simulacrum. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi mo na may ano bang totoo sa hindi. In layman's term, di ba? Ang dami na kasi even for example, di ba? Magaling kang mag-edit. You will just post in your social media account publicly and may maniniwala sa iyo. Mayroon namang hindi. And that's how critical must be we are in terms of using social media. Diba? Kasi sabi nito, we live in a society of brands and logos. Kung ano lamang yung kilala, yung mas iaano natin, mas titingnan natin, di ba? Itong mas sikat, ito ang ating pakikinggan. We are not listening on our personal ideology, even on the ideologies of other people. Di ba? We need to understand that. And kung titingnan natin, di ba? Di ba? The rise of knowledge society. In the new age of internet-based mass media, users in the so-called information society or knowledge society. Nandito tayo eh. We are now in the information society or knowledge society. Unlike the traditional or modern societies, the people in information societies rely more and more on the use of and access to information rather than on machines and human labor. For example, di ba? Hindi sa isang araw lamang, hindi sa loob ng isang araw, titignan mo ang iyong Facebook, halos mayat-mayat. Nakarely ka na dun eh. So, we are really and affected by this term, globalization. Kasi nga, para bang kahapon sa Nuvali and in some um, cinema, especially here in Calamba, punong-puno. Bakit? Kasi nga, kay Taylor Swift, paano natin papasok ang globalization yan? Kasi nga, we adhere or we always, not always, but we follow the demand. Di ba? Kasi demanding eh. Di ba? Halos lahat gusto si Taylor. So, kahit hindi wala ka sa real life scenario ng kanyang concert, pero at the simultaneously, meron siyang concert through the use of social media or internet, napapanood mo siya. Di ba? Kasi globalization, it is the connection of our country outside our territory. Another example of globalization. Can you please give me an example of globalization? Miss Kimberly Ann Galicia. Diba? Like what I said, when I say globalization, it is interconnection. Not only within the country, but the connection of our country to other country. Can you please give me, Miss Galicia, an example or outcome of globalization? Okay? Okay, I will wait for your answer. Can you please chat it? And if you are agreeable on on her answer, can you please put a heart react, not put a sad react, and explain why. Okay, while waiting. Okay, another example, if your answer is like this, another example is promoting K-pop culture, di ba? Tayo, kahit hindi tayo mga Koreano, tuwang-tuwa ka sa mga Koreano, di ba? Kasi nga sa kanilang mga look, sa kanilang way of dancing, the way of singing, kahit hindi mo naintindihan yung lyrics, okay lang yon. So, ang mga ang mga Koreano, napakagaling yan in what way? Not only in terms of globalization, but also in terms of glocalization. When you say glocalization, from the word glo, ibig sabihin globalize. Local, ibig sabihin domestic. Ang ginawa ng mga Koreano, hindi globalization, glocalization. When you say glocalization, you think globally and act locally. Hindi sila nag-adjust. Di ba? Kung ang kanilang mga lyrics ay Korean, so tayo nag-adjust. Bakit maganda ang timbre? So, kaya mapapansin niyo sa mga Korean novela, hindi nawawala yung mga traditional na pelikula. Halimbawa, showing their culture, showing the culture of having the emperor or the queen, di ba? Noong unang panahon, pinapalabas nila yon para maikintal hindi lamang sa mga Koreano, kundi sa mga tumatangkad sa kanila na ang kultura ng mga Koreano ganito. Di ba? That is globalization. You think globally and act locally. Tayo kasi, hindi eh. We always base on the standard of other countries. Example, this is the European standard, this is the American standard. Bakit wala tayong Filipino standard? We are just copying the standards of other nations. Diba? That's why sometimes, according to some of social scientists, they do believe that globalization can hinder nationalism. Why? Because of always adjusting and following the international trend. Eh kasi sikat to eh. Ay ayoko na ano, ayoko ng bantang mga artistang Pilipino. Gusto ko yung mga Koreano. 'Di ba? Kasi nga we are truly globalized. Really globalized. Apektado na tayo eh. Especially the young ones. And the young ones think na gano'n dapat mangyari. Paano sa magiging nation builder? 'Di ba? Kung wala silang pagmamahal sa bansa. 'Di ba? I'm not against globalization. Globalization is good as long as it will not help us or it will not lead to disappearing our identity, the loss of our identity. Baka dumating ang panahon, sino na nga ba mga Pilipino? Ano na nga ba, hindi lang yung looks, ano na ba ang pananaw ng Pilipino? Baka hindi na. Baka ang Pilipino, pananaw Koreano na, pananaw na Chinese na. Kasi we are globalized already. Diba? But if we use the context of globalization in good way, maganda yan. You adapt, but you will not forget yung identity na meron tayo. Okay? And cyber democracy. We already discussed democracy. According to Abraham Lincoln, before, democracy is the rule of majority. Diba? Majority wins. Democracy is for the people, by the people, and of the people. So, the promise of the internet is that it will give a voice back to the people. Tama naman. Diba? Kaya nga pag may issue, post ka ng post eh. Diba? Gusto mong marinig. Diba? Tulad ako, lagi ako sa my day. Kasi gusto makita. Kasi extrovert ako, I'm not introvert eh. Extrovert gusto ko, ako yung showy. Diba? Wala na akong ginagawa sa so, I always show, diba? Kung anong dapat dito. Kung anong nararamdaman ko. Diba? Pero sabi nga dito, the promise of the internet is that it will give a voice back to the people. One that has been taken away by the private media or entertainment. Or true enough, the internet has broadened the democratic spaces of the people, most especially the Filipino citizen. Before, if you remember, ewan ko kung naabutan nyo to, pero baka malilit pa kayo, during People Power 2, the famous Philippine People Power 2 that uphold and ousted President Ejercito Estrada. Alam nyo, isa sa mga naging dahilan yun, it was initiated by text message. May mga kumakalat na messages noon. So, marami mga nakapagbasa ng ganung message kasi marami-rami na mayroong cellphone. Kasi hindi man uso messenger noon eh. 'Di ba? Hindi nga uso ng mga ano eh, hindi man uso ang internet noon eh. 'Di ba? Hindi man uso ilan lang nakagamit. Pero wala pang Facebook noon. Wala pang Friendster eh. If you remember Friendster, wala pang ganun. Wala pang IG, wala pang Twitter. 'Di ba? Pero uso na doon ang text message. So, yung mga kumakalat ng mga text brigade, ganun nangyari eh. So, marami nakaalam, not only through social media, mass media, pero also through text message. Yung mga sikat ng araw yan, kahit nung kami high school, di ba, magpapaload ka, tapos ite-text mo yung gusto mo, di ba? Ganun lang kasimple. Ngayon, ang katumas ngayon yan, messenger. Kaya nga, ako nga, wala nga akong mga contact numbers ng mga karamihan na mga kasama ko dito. Halos karamihan, we message one another through social media, through messenger. Diba? So, cyber democracy, malaya tayong gumamit ng social media, not like in China. You know, I have two Chinese classmates during my PhD in UP. So sila, bago sila nakakuha sila ng Facebook nung nag-aaral sila dito. But bago sila payagang mag-Facebook, they need they need to secure a permit from their central government that they need to use Facebook or Messenger through they need to use or it is a must for them to use Facebook to open Facebook account or Messenger because it is essential in Philippine education. Kasi nag-aaral sila dito eh. Nagpapaalam pa yan. Not like dito, kahit nga ano, Kahit nga sino pwede magkaroon ng social media eh. Kahit nga 1 year old eh, dadayain lang each, di ba? Ganun tayo kauutak, di ba? So malaya, but take no, democracy is the rule of majority. But democracy is not absolute. May limitation. Hindi man pwedeng lahat ng gusto mo gagawin mo. Hindi man pwedeng galit ka sa isang tao, then magmumura ka sa social media, kasi sira mo siya. Cyberbullying yun. Diba? Ito yung mga hindi naunawaan ng mga Pilipino. Ba? Kahit ngayon pagbibideo eh. May limitation yan eh. Hindi mo basta pwedeng video ng tao without the consent. Diba? Eh kaso, wala eh. Naging social pattern na. Na kapag merong aksidente, bago mo tulungan, bibidyo mo muna. Kapag may nag-aaway, bago mo awatin, bibidyo mo muna. Eh, tsaka mo ipopost. Di ba? Eh, paano pa magkapatayan na yan? Di ba? Kasi ganun ang mindset natin ng democracy. Ito, democracy is for the people, by the people, and of the people. We need to use democracy rightfully, with limitation. Hindi ito absolute. Di ba? Hindi naman to, di ba? Sabi mo, right of freedom of speech. Yes, may karapatan tayo magsalita, pero hindi absolute. Hindi man pwedeng may karapatan mo salita, di may karapatan ka na murahin ang kasabi mo. Diba? Pagalitan o pag dito, siraan ang katabi mo. O kasamaan mo, hindi ganun. May limitation yun. Diba? Pero dito, mapapansin mo, yung cyber democracy natin, sobra. Hindi man absolute, pero may limitation. Pero sobra naman. Diba? Minsan nga, kapag mayroong problema, you will just post kunyari may nakita kang problema sa social media, isang post o isang article, 'di ba? You will just rapid tool in action, 'di ba? Nasisira nating system ng judiciary, 'di ba? Dapat may protocol. Hindi pwedeng just type sumbong mo kay Tulfo, 'di ba? Yes, Tulfo is good in terms of public service but not absolutely. May mga protocol tayo. Eh ginagamit natin social media in favor to our will. Kaya nga, yan natin. So, I hope narinig niyo ito. Kung kayo ay umabot na sa part na ito, can you please send a haha put a haha in our messenger, in our GC, so that I can able to notify kung sino yung mga hindi nakikinig. Okay? Yes, o dapat sunod-sunod yan ha. Hindi dapat bandwagon, baka nakita nyo ng papapap lang, nakikigaya kayo. Okay? So I will call somebody here. So based on our topic tonight, ano ang maging reflect? Ano kaya ang maaari maging reflection mo? Okay? This Janine, kalong-kalong. Just want to hear or read your short reflection. Paano kaya? Di ba? Paano ba talaga naapektuhan ba tayo ng media, ng mass media or social media? Paano ka naapektuhan ng mass media and social media? Okay, can you please send your answer? Okay? Kung nabasa niyo ang sagot niya, can you please put a thumbs up react sa kanyang message, sa mismong message niya ha. And please listen to my instruction. Okay? Can you please put a thumbs up emoji or reaction sa kanyang message kung nabasa niyo. Okay? Thank you. Can you post this video while waiting for the answer of this kalong-kalong? Okay? Let's continue. How about you? I hope nandito ka, Josh Francisco, kasi na-attend siya kapag online eh. Okay? I hope you are okay. So, what is your reflection after analyzing the impact or effects of social media and mass media in our society? What is your reaction? Mhm. Okay, I will wait for your answer. Okay. Kung nakapag-post na ng answer si Mr. Francisco, pwede bang mag-react kung mga tatawagin ko? Can you please, ito lang ang magre-react sa kanyang message. Miss Ocampo, can you please put a thumbs up react sa kanyang message? Miss Den Marie Regodon, can you please put a ha react sa kanyang sagot kung nabasa mo? Miss Tricia, Maria Tricia Podelia, can you please put a heart react sa kanyang message? How about you, Maria Neri? Can you please put a sad react sa kanyang message? And last one, Alessandra Barbosa. Can you please put a care react sa kanyang message? Okay, sila lang 5 magre-react, ha? Okay. Natin kung nandito pa rin kayo habang pinonood nyo ang recorded video na to. Okay? Because I will um, check this through our GC. Okay? Hmm. Ngayon, as your assignment, on Wednesday, can you please answer this cliche question and answer this in a short bond paper? I will check it later on. I will check it on Wednesday. This is a question. At this point in time, how will you able to use social media, the new media that we stated a while ago, as an agent for change? Okay, can you please screenshot this? Okay, so at this point in time, how will you able to use social media as an agent for change? So you will submit your answer on Wednesday, write it or put your answer in a short bond paper. Okay? So kung nakaabot ka sa last part ng ating lesson, can you please put a heart react? Diba? And send another screenshot na nandito ka na sa last part ng ating PowerPoint. Diba? Ito natin, dapat naka-screenshot ka, naka-selfie ka, papakita mo mismo at isesend mo ito sa ating GC. This will serve as your attendance. Okay? A real-time attendance. Okay? If you have question or further question, can you please you may ask questions sa ating GC and I will answer that kapag natanggap ko ang inyong mga tanong. Okay? So, yun lamang. So, we will see each other again on Wednesday. Sana ay face-to-face na. Okay? Thank you and God bless you.